This is the CBS Evening News. Good evening. The battle lines are in sharper focus tonight over health care reform in America.
As President Clinton prepares to reveal his proposal next week, Republicans today came out with their own plan for restructuring health care and how to pay for it. One of the Republican ideas is to tax present health care benefits. Correspondent Linda Douglas reports what else is in the Republican health care counteroffensive and how it could affect you.
Acknowledging that health care reform is no easy task, Republican Senate leaders unveiled their plan today.
Our proposal is dramatically different from the administration's in a variety of ways.
In some areas, the Republican plan resembles the Clinton health plan. Funding relies heavily on cutting government spending on Medicaid and Medicare, and the plan's main goal is guaranteed health insurance for everyone, according to its author.
Under our proposal, there will be health care coverage for every American.
But there are big differences. Under the Clinton plan, employers are required to pay a portion of their workers' health insurance. Under the Republican plan, employers are not required to provide health insurance, but individuals are required to have it, though they can deduct the cost from their taxes. Under the Clinton plan, insurance costs would be controlled in part by the government. Under the Republican plan, businesses would be urged to join big insurance purchasing groups to drive costs down.
We propose less government regulation and government involvement, not more.
But under the Republican plan, the government would be involved. Individuals who don't buy health insurance would be penalized by the IRS. Congress would establish a minimum package of health benefits, and individuals would have to pay taxes on benefits beyond that level. Democrats chose to emphasize the similarities between the Republican plan and the Clinton plan.
First of all, I think that it's a good sign. I think the Republican plan shows that we're moving closer together.
Some Republicans have been working closely with Hillary Clinton, agreeing that the health care crisis must be solved. They warn if there's not widespread political support, Americans may not be willing to accept the big changes in health care that any plan will require. Linda Douglas, CBS News, Washington.
1 week from tonight, President Clinton goes to Capitol Hill to begin the big sell of his plan for restructuring, reforming health care. And any overhaul of the system does require the approval of Congress. That's why there's going to be such a big fight. Chief Washington correspondent Bob Schieffer is on Capitol Hill tonight. Bob, how much of a fight is this going to be, and how long will it take?
Well, it's going to take a long time, Dan. It is going to be enormously complicated. It is going to be very difficult. But this is not going to be like kind of the partisan battle, I think, that we saw earlier this year over the budget, where you had just simply Republicans against Democrats. There are Republicans and Democrats here who have been working on this issue for years together. There's a general sense that something ought to be done. I think you may even see one Republican Senator, Jeffords of Vermont, now giving strong consideration to endorsing and signing on as a co-sponsor of the Clinton plan. I think in the end, the product that comes out is going to be the result of compromise between the Republican plan you heard unveiled today and what President Clinton unveils next week. Very difficult, but I think you're going to see a lot of Republicans and Democrats working together this time.
Well, Bob, we already know about a new cigarette tax to help fund health care reform, and the Republicans are talking about taxing health care benefits. Any other new taxes on the horizon to pay for this?
I think the cigarette tax is almost a certainty, Dan, although as late as yesterday the White House was saying it hasn't been decided finally yet. But I'm beginning to see up here very little inclination on the part of Congress for other sin taxes like a tax on alcohol and so forth. So I think that in the beginning, at least for now, the only thing you're going to hear about is a cigarette tax.
Bob Schieffer from Capitol Hill, thanks.
America is the world leader in high-tech healthcare, and that's a big reason why healthcare is so expensive. Take ultrasound technology, for example. Is that a necessary kind of test? Health correspondent Dr. Bob Arnott has word now about a brand new study out tonight.
High technology has invaded modern medicine. The use of CAT scans, magnetic resonance imaging, and other expensive tests have become routine. But do we really need them all?
You can see the lens of the eye, you can see the hand moving. See the little hand?
A major new study says one of the most popular tests, ultrasound, used routinely for pregnant women, is often a waste of money.
It's not necessary for every woman to have a screening ultrasound, and we could save over $1 billion if we took the approach of just doing ultrasounds when they're necessary.
The study in tomorrow's New England Journal of Medicine found that for low-risk women, the likelihood of delivering a healthy baby was the same with or without ultrasound. The test, used to detect potential problems with a pregnancy, costs $200. It's typically done twice during pregnancy. Michelle Edelstein delivered a healthy baby 5 weeks ago. Like most women who undergo ultrasound, she had a low-risk pregnancy, but wanted ultrasound anyway.
It's peace of mind, and it's definitely security. Security knowing that everything's going well with my baby.
Although the benefits of ultrasound apply mostly to high-risk pregnancies, most doctors prescribe it for nearly all pregnant women.
The occasional case where we may pick up a fetal problem on a routine ultrasound, in those cases, it's certainly worth it.
But is it really worth $1 billion a year just to detect a tiny number of birth defects? For an expectant mother, it may be worth all the money in the world. But for healthcare reformers trying to trim a $929 billion medical bill, this is a prime target. Dr. Bob Arnott, CBS News, New York.
Straight ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, a hijacking drama in Europe. Armed Islamic militants seize a Russian jetliner.
And a CBS News reality check. Why is the government spending millions of your tax dollars on a space project at a college? You may be amazed.
I knew something must be wrong. I was getting these sharp pains and sometimes pressure and bloating. I'm glad I asked my doctor. He said it was gas and recommended Mylanta gas.
Mylanta gas. It has the best medicine for gas.
My doctor said I didn't need surgery for my hemorrhoids. They weren't serious, and to use Preparation H.
Preparation H, trusted by millions to often help relieve the hemorrhoidal symptoms of itching, burning, and painful irritation for hours. Trust doctor-recommended Preparation H.
Last year, Ford Motor Company had 5 of the 10 best-selling new cars and trucks in America. And to help keep your car running like new, we designed Quality Care Preventive Maintenance. It's a level of care you won't find anywhere but at your Ford or Lincoln Mercury dealer. Everything from changing your oil and filter to brake jobs and shocks. Quick, expert, and competitively priced. Quality Care, where the quality continues.
2 days after a breakthrough peace agreement on the Middle East, a flashback tonight to the politics of terrorism. Hijackers believed to be pro-Iranian radicals are holding a Russian airliner and dozens of hostages near Oslo. Correspondent Tom Fenton is on the scene in Norway.
The twin-engine Tupolev 134 with about 50 people aboard landed tonight at Gardermoen Airport north of Oslo. Negotiations were opened with the hijackers while police, including Norway's crack Delta Force, prepared to intervene if necessary. The hijackers, armed with grenades and explosives, were described as Iranians believed to be linked with the Muslim fundamentalist group Hezbollah.
Their demands was first to get a confirmation that they really are in Norway, and they have now accepted that they are in Norway. And the demand is to get political asylum in Norway.
It was a backwater flight from Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan, and was headed across the remnants of the old Soviet Union to Perm in the Ural Mountains. In mid-flight, the hijackers diverted it to the Ukrainian capital of Kiev. There they demanded an English-speaking navigator. One of the hijackers can clearly be seen in a white shirt. The replacement navigator is frisked before going on board. As the negotiations continued, it was still not clear why the hijackers had chosen Oslo as their destination. Late tonight, the hijackers began releasing some of the passengers.
It was here in Norway that the peace agreement between the Israelis and the Palestinians was hammered out. Perhaps a coincidence, perhaps not. But the Islamic fundamentalists are totally opposed to the agreement, and ever since it was announced, security officials around the world have been worried about hijackings and terrorist acts about a day like today. Tom Fenton, CBS News, Gardermoen Airport, Norway.
The leaders of Israel and the PLO returned home today, hoping to transform their peace agreement into reality. Israeli Prime Minister Rabin arrived on the eve of the Jewish New Year, saying it should be a year of peace. Meanwhile, Israeli troops were sealing off the still-occupied Gaza Strip for the holiday to guard against terrorist attacks. Meanwhile, Yasser Arafat was back at PLO headquarters in Tunisia, saying the Palestinian people now have a friend in the White House. But Arafat himself still has enemies, many of them in the Middle East. Radical Arabs and some Iranians are meeting in Libya, talking about how to derail the whole peace agreement.
In Somalia, UN peacekeepers were under attack again today. 2 Italian soldiers were killed by sniper fire, and 11 people were wounded by mortar shells that struck the UN compound in Mogadishu. The attacks were blamed on fugitive warlord Mohammed Aidid, the object of a manhunt by U.S. troops. The State Department warned today that if Aidid is captured, his followers may try to take U.S. citizens hostage.
Stick here with us for much more of the CBS Evening News, including Eye on America. Tonight, the Reginald Denny beating case. What about the defense's efforts to put the justice system on trial in Los Angeles?
Honey, we're leaving in 10 minutes.
While virtual reality isn't quite here yet, the car is. The new Accord from Honda.
Mannington Gold floors are now even more attractive. Until October 15th, just buy any Mannington Gold Series floor and you'll get a rebate of up to $100. Mannington Gold, it's the look that lasts, but hurry, the rebate won't.
What would you get if you squeezed the refreshing flavor of this orange or this lemon into a nice, plump Sunsweet prune? You'd get delicious new Sunsweet orange essence or lemon essence pitted prunes. Better hurry before someone gets yours.
Prowler at 15 Pine.
After I got this job and the stress, I had trouble getting to sleep. So I take Unisom to get to sleep fast. It's safe, and nothing I've tried works better.
In medical tests, people fell asleep 23 minutes faster with Unisom than without, and slept better all night.
I wake up feeling refreshed, not groggy. Let's go. Unisom works faster, so I can be at my best.
Every 2 days, 27 kids are killed by guns. What will happen in the next 48 hours? The season premiere tonight.
President Clinton was out barnstorming campaign style again today, using the Port of New Orleans as the backdrop to talk up the proposed U.S. free trade arrangement with Mexico and Canada. But there is more to today's photo op than meets the eye. White House correspondent Rita Braver looks at the bigger picture.
Air Force One touches down in Louisiana. President Clinton presses the flesh. He is back in his most comfortable and perhaps most effective role, campaigner. But wait a minute, this isn't even a campaign year. The election is long over. Bill Clinton won. Still, the White House keeps him on the hustings. Critics claim this is an effort to boost a struggling president whose economic plan barely made it through Congress.
Well, I think they're trying to recapture the definition of Bill Clinton. I mean, they've had a very, very bad beginning. It's all been tax and spend. So now they're back to the photo op campaign mode to try to move his numbers back up and bring him back to political life.
Today, for example, Mr. Clinton flew hundreds of miles just to spend about an hour pushing the beleaguered free trade agreement, which would end tariffs with Mexico and Canada.
We need your help. It means more jobs for America.
Last week, President Clinton and intrepid Vice President Gore traveled to Chantilly, Virginia, Sunnyvale, California, Houston, Texas, all to be seen in local media markets talking up their plan to streamline government.
Anybody can see that one of these is worth $2.50 more than the other one.
His staff insists the president must get out of the White House to stay in touch.
It's important for the president to come out and talk directly to the American people about these initiatives and to help get their support as he works with Congress to get them passed.
But the biggest push is still ahead. With health care about to be launched, the White House plans even more campaign tactics. A war room, quick response teams, maybe even a bus tour. President Clinton, coming soon to a neighborhood near you. Rita Braver, CBS News, New Orleans.
Not coming soon to a neighborhood near you, millions of your tax dollars. We have a rare glimpse today at where some of the money is going. Millions earmarked in Congress for special education programs. They're special, all right. Correspondent Eric Ingberg follows the money trail from Congress to campus on tonight's CBS Evening News Reality Check.
Wheeling Jesuit College, a peaceful West Virginia campus, home to NASA's National Technology Transfer Center, future home of the high-tech classroom of the future. Time out. That's $30 million in NASA research funds going to a school that has 900 students, graduates no PhDs, and has no engineering courses. Why?
That's another tribute to the sagacity of the senior senator from West Virginia.
That would be Senator Robert Byrd, who heads Appropriations, the committee that controls the federal purse strings. He wasn't alone. Senior appropriators in both parties routinely use a backdoor maneuver called earmarking to slip millions to their home states in grants to colleges. That's why a medical research project in Portland, Oregon is being built incongruously by the Energy Department.
These projects become the private property of a distinguished senior member of the House or Senate, and they don't want anybody looking over their shoulders.
So Chairman Brown did something almost unheard of in the halls of Congress. He called a hearing today to blow the whistle on his colleagues. Earmarking for institutions of higher learning has soared from $9 million in 1982 to $763 million this year. In some cases, the government gets nothing back.
100-012, cleared to takeoff.
The FAA, under orders from Congress, poured more than $80 million into colleges to train future air traffic controllers. Investigators found exactly 35 were ever hired.
That works out to about $2 million a worker.
Over $2 million a worker.
Did the taxpayers get their money's worth out of that?
Well, our audit report took the position that they did not.
The FAA, not needing air traffic controllers, repeatedly tried to kill the college program. The congressional earmark titans who control the purse strings refused. Eric Engberg, CBS News, Washington.
Still to come on tonight's CBS Evening News. A fugitive accused of being associated with a cop killing gives up the run from her past.
The good news, diets rich in antioxidants may benefit your long-term health. The bad news, the average diet is not rich in antioxidants. Today's news, Protegra, the new antioxidant supplement that's all antioxidants. More vitamin E, vitamin C, and beta-carotene. Protegra, with more antioxidant support than you get from a regular multivitamin. To boost your antioxidant levels, even if you take a multivitamin, add Protegra to your daily routine. Protegra, the good news in antioxidants.
This is hydroplaning in less than an inch of water, and they're being pulled by Goodyear all-season AquaTread radials. AquaTread's deep groove design channels water away as you drive for outstanding traction. Hydroplaning, AquaTreading. Think about it.
A woman is different than a man. Her system is 3 times as likely to become irregular. Correctol is the woman's gentle laxative that works predictably overnight.
No wonder more women trust it.
Correctol, the woman's gentle laxative.
I always wanted to practice in a small town. I like to know the people I'm taking care of. It's important for me to be involved with the community. That's the way I want to live. I got a GM MasterCard because I wanted to do something special for my daughter's birthday. It was easy. I transferred my other credit card balances to my GM card and earned 5%. It was a thrill to give her the Beretta. It's a big part of her life. I don't think Christy will ever forget her 16th birthday.
The GM card with no annual fee. To apply, call 1-800-8GM-CARD. We have important information about prenatal ultrasound testing.
And we'll be talking with Kathleen Turner.
Tomorrow on CBS This Morning with Harry Smith and Paula Zahn.
The search intensified today for the killers of a British tourist yesterday near Tallahassee, Florida. The Jefferson County Sheriff said as many as 100 teenagers with criminal records will be questioned. The stolen car used by the killers was found and examined for fingerprints. In Boston, a Vietnam protester who spent more than half her life looking over her shoulder for the FBI came in from the cold today. Correspondent John Roberts has her story.
Almost 23 years to the day she became a fugitive, Catherine Empower turned herself in to authorities. One of 5 Brandeis University radicals who robbed a bank in 1970, an act that took the life of Boston police officer Walter Schroeder.
It's a day where she gets to get a new life. It's a day for closure for the Schroeder family. It's a day for her to be able to express her remorse to the Schroeders and for her to begin again.
Powers spent 14 years on the FBI's most wanted list, hiding out with co-conspirator Susan Sachs until Sachs' arrest in 1975. Power then fled to Oregon, where she assumed the name Alice Metzinger, married, had a child, and ran a restaurant. No one knew of Power's double life, not even her husband or 14-year-old son. Until one day, 18 months ago, riddled with guilt and clinically depressed, she was driven to reveal her terrible secret and began a series of negotiations to surrender.
She's just come to the decision that life as a fugitive is more difficult than facing a prison term.
Yesterday, Power met the family she hadn't seen or spoken with in more than 2 decades.
I'm proud of her for what she's done in turning herself in.
The family of police officer Walter Schroeder, who declined to talk on camera, said they were relieved the 23-year ordeal had come to an end.
For 23 years, those indictments have sat in a folder in the Suffolk County Courthouse. And today, finally, they saw the light of day. Today, finally, justice was rendered.
As her husband looked on in silence, Catherine Ann Power was taken away for sentencing next month. The woman who gave up her past will now give up her future. John Roberts, CBS News, New York.
Parts of Lake Alfred, Florida, near Tampa, were evacuated today after explosives rocked a distillery and flames from 50,000 gallons of burning alcohol shot into the sky. One person was hurt. The plant, operated by Florida Distilleries, produces wine, vinegar, and liquor. And in London today, more proof of the enormous popularity of dinosaurs and almost anything connected with the prehistoric beasts. A pile of fossilized dinosaur byproduct. Dinosaur chips, if you will, found in Texas, fetched $4,600 at auction, and a dozen dinosaur eggs went for $70,000.
Wait a minute. You tell me they pick up half the tab on whoever I call most?
Sprint announces a radical new offer when you switch to the most.
Get out of here.
It's true. Sprint will split the bill on whoever you call most.
Right. Who's gonna believe a thing like that?
I have it. They split it. See? It pays to listen to your friends.
Call now and save 50% with Sprint's calling plan, the most.
Nothing cold can steam you up and help keep you rolling all morning like the one and only hot Quaker oatmeal. Nourishment's so pure, pretty near perfect.
Every day should feel this good.
They're all angels, but boy, do they make a mess. In my classroom, I have a cabinet full of Brawny. Those thirst pockets are what do the trick. Spill after spill, day after day. At times, I lose it. Sometimes I'd like them to absorb the kids.
Only Brawny has thirst pockets. These unique absorbers make Brawny so good at soaking up spills.
Brawny gets to the mess before the mess gets to you.
You make me feel so young. You make me feel there are songs to be sung.
Introducing Fat-Free Promise Ultra. Zero fat with just 5 delicious calories a serving.
And every time I see you grin,
It's the first fat-free margarine. Definitely one of a kind.
you make me feel so young.
Regular or new Fat-Free Promise Ultra. Get Heart Smart.
The Reginald Denny beating trial in Los Angeles is nearing the halfway point, with the prosecution expected to wind up this week. Then the defense of the alleged black attackers takes over. Some blacks deplore the attack, but others say the system has been stacked against the accused from the opening gavel. Correspondent Bill Whitaker reports tonight's Eye on America.
No justice! With no justice!
The beating of Reginald Denny sent shockwaves through Los Angeles. Now, the trial of 2 of his alleged attackers is creating fissures in the African-American community. While outside the courthouse, some are denouncing the justice system.
America has 2 systems of justice, one for black people and one for white people.
Inside, a parade of black witnesses is participating in the system, even pointing the finger at Henry Watson and Damian Williams.
And he said, if you was any kind of nigger, you'd be out here with us.
The fissures cut deep. when the president of the local NAACP, Joe Duff, likened Denny's attackers to a lynch mob.
There should be criminal prosecution of people who do those kinds of mob actions.
It brought down the wrath of some in the community.
Joe Duff has emerged as an enemy of black people.
All sides in the black community are calling for justice in this case. But while some say let the system work, a more vocal group is saying in LA the system doesn't work. Item: Korean shopkeeper Soon Ja-do shoots and kills Latasha Harlins, a black schoolgirl she thought was shoplifting. Sentence: probation. Item: white LA cops Powell and Kuhn convicted in the brutal beating of Rodney King. Sentence: 2.5 years. But now the two black defendants accused of beating Denny, possible sentence: life in prison.
How come all of a sudden justice means a different thing?
Writer Karen Grigsby Bates fought in the trenches of the civil rights movement, but now she's lost faith in the judicial system.
It's like that old joke, that used to go around, that when white folks talk about justice, they mean exactly that. Just us.
Lofton Gray considered joining the violence last year. Instead, he put his rage into his music.
We should have got justice with Latasha Harlins. We should have got justice with Rodney King. There's a lot of times when we should have got justice.
But Reginald Denny's attorney says past injustice is no excuse.
A private citizen cannot take a rock or a brick and hit someone with it. There's no justification for that at all.
Yet many blacks who accept that these cases are different or even believe the defendants guilty see this as a test case, looking not only for equal justice, but for justice to equal the score. Timothy Goldman is caught in the middle, forced by the DA to turn over his amateur videotape and testify.
This trial is our way of seeing if we will be treated, how we will be treated in a criminal justice system.
In other words, he wants leniency for blacks, as he says there was for Soon Ja-do and for Kuhn and Powell.
In the King trial, if that's the way justice works, then justice should work the same way in the so-called Reginald Denny trial.
It's basically a philosophical difference.
But radio host Errol Smith says it's dangerous to abandon the rule of law.
The alternative is a system, a justice system that becomes manipulated by politics, a justice system that becomes manipulated by public opinion.
But many African Americans believe it already reflects white public opinion. And in this trial-torn city, the rift between blacks is just one more wound to heal. In Los Angeles, this is Bill Whitaker for Eye on America.
Something special coming up later tonight on this CBS station, the season premiere of 48 Hours. The first episode of our 7th season is called Our Kids, Armed and Dangerous. 48 hours in the deadly world of guns and kids in Chicago and elsewhere. How do kids get guns? Why do they pull the trigger? And what, if anything, can be done to stop the madness? That's tonight at 10 Eastern, 9 Central Time.
And we'll be back tomorrow with more of the CBS Evening News. For Dan and all of us here at CBS News, I'm Connie Chung. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Good night.
Experience CBS News.
How dangerous is asbestos in schools? That depends on who you talk to. Eye on America investigated, and what we found may surprise you on the CBS Evening News tomorrow. This is CBS.